talk about boundaries. Boundaries. So let's really break this down. What is a boundary? It's a wall. A boundary is a wall. And what is a wall there for? It's there to protect. It's there to protect whatever is inside the wall. Everybody understands that this is our vessel. We have to protect our mind, our body, our spirit. We have to protect what comes in. So I understand the idea of setting boundaries, but I think my generation of millennials, we've gone a little bit too fucking crazy with these boundaries. Boundaries? That's what we talking about? Okay. Because now we setting all type of boundaries that are unnecessary. And it's really just excuses to be who we want to be. And we feel like the world is just all about us. We're a very spoiled, entitled generation. I mean, I get it, man. Everybody got to have their level of respect, and you want to make people, respect what you want out of life. But come on, man. It's fucking boundaries. And we get in our feels and we want to fight for this respect. Whatever the fuck. Like, what the fuck is that? When you're setting a boundary, when you're setting a wall, just really ask yourself, what are you protecting yourself from? Because a lot of times, these boundaries that people are trying to set, you're not protecting yourself from anything. All you're doing is creating this false reality so that you can be comfortable in the flow that you're used to flowing in. Example, I had a long time boundary set where I was not going to get a job. There was this invisible wall blocking the 9-to-5 life because I felt like personally I'm not supposed to work a job. All the while, I'm going along my path and I'm doing what I'm doing with my business and my art, and it's getting me minimal results, getting me a little bit, but not as much as I would want. The logical decision would be, okay, let me stretch and make a decision that's going to help my bank account right now. But because I had this stupid ass boundary set up in my life, I didn't allow myself to grow, and it was fear. These fucking boundaries are really just scary people that are afraid to stretch and expand themselves and kill this idea of who they think they are and this respect that you're trying to fight for. The more unnecessary boundaries you set, the more you hurt your level of respect. You got to let people in. Communication, vulnerability, compromise, sacrifice. These are the things that are respectable things, not just always wanting to set up a wall when somebody presents something that's outside of what's comfortable for you or convenient for you. That's not how you're supposed to use boundaries. You set boundaries with people that are disrespecting you. You set boundaries with people that are not able to treat you the way that you need to be treated. And you got to understand when your boundary is just affecting you or if it's affecting a bigger picture. And a lot of things in this life are bigger than us. And we'll wind up setting a personal boundary, but that personal boundary is affecting something that's a lot more important than just our own self-interest and our own feelings. So you got to be able to assess the situation and stop setting these silly ass boundaries, man. I'm really getting tired of that word.
I need you to respect my boundaries. I need you to respect this boundary I'm setting.
It's not about not setting boundaries because, yes, a very key part of respect is setting a boundary, but you have to really look at what you're putting a wall up on. And what I see is a lot of people that just walk around with a never-ending boundary around them. We live in a very scary-ass society where people are unable or unwilling to be vulnerable because they're always walking around scared and expecting people to do something bad to them. Expecting to have to protect themselves from people who are not threats. There's people around you that's really literally trying to help and love you, but you're setting boundaries up with these people. Why do we fucking do this dumbass shit? It's not helping anybody. You're self-sabotaging when you set up unnecessary boundaries. When you don't allow a person in, you don't even give people a chance to help or love you properly. Because all that boundary is doing is creating this world of isolation where you're isolating yourself from the people that really need to come in. But you're so afraid to let people in. Why? Because you want to maintain this level of comfort and this idea of strength, and everybody wants to do it on their own and feel powerful. And we feel like being an adult that's where your strength is being able to say, I did it. I got it out the mud and I wanted to do it by myself and create that's all fine. Everybody wants to do that. Everybody has to create for themselves, but we all need help and we all want love. Chill with the boundaries, man. Majority of the time, ain't nobody really trying to hurt you. Ain't nobody threatening you. Ain't nobody trying to make your life harder. You're setting too many fucking boundaries. Let it go. Break the walls down. Let people in. Let the help in. Let the love in. And watch how your life expands. It's a domino effect. Once you set a boundary, now everybody around you has to set their own boundaries. Now we just a bunch of motherfuckers setting boundaries. See, because I'm an open person, but when you're dealing with a person that's guarded, they're going to move in a way that's kind of funny. There's no way you can be a trustworthy person or somebody that can really connect and build relationships that are rooted in trust and respect when you moving around with this boundary and these walls up. Everybody has to take care of themselves first before anybody in this world. See, it's a difference in a boundary that's there to help you versus a boundary that's there just crippling you. It's enabling you to be the same person. See, this life is about being uncomfortable, and these boundaries make shit way too comfortable. They make shit way too comfortable. You have to let go of that shit. You ain't never gonna evolve into the person you need to be in operating under these boundaries that you're trying to set all the fucking time. Stop protecting yourself from growing. That's basically what I see. You're fighting so hard to be this certain person and to stay in a certain mental space. Universe is telling you it's time for you to expand. It's time for you to get a little uncomfortable. Especially look at the person in front of you that's making you want to set a boundary. Who is it? It's usually the people closest to you. The people that love you the most. The people that are investing in you the most. You got to know what you're fighting for. You have to always be aware of what you're fighting for and what you're sacrificing. There's always a sacrifice that's made. You can't regret anything. When you set a boundary in your life, it affects relationships. It affects the path of your life. Just make sure when you set that boundary, you stand on it. And whatever comes from that boundary being set, live with it. Be at peace. And in time, if you see how your life is panning out and you're unhappy and you're in a position you don't want to be in, just take a look at the boundaries that you have in place. Who have you shut out of your life? How are your moves affecting your life? And at a point, you have to learn through experience. And experience is the best teacher. And these boundaries create a certain experience for you. You got to be in tune, though. You have to be in tune to your life. Understand that it's your decisions that are leading to your reality. A lot of times, people that set boundaries, they like to point the finger at everybody that they're setting up these walls to keep from coming in, when all the while they've been their own worst enemy, because you're keeping people out that really want to help you and really want to love you.